here to discuss my Mortal Kombat 2020 review with spoilers. And here we go. Alright, first thing I did not like about the movie was the introduction of this character named Cole Young. Thought he was basically pretty much useless and had no real value to the film or the Mortal Kombat lore or the story whatsoever. And it's sad because I don't think the actor did a bad job really in the role, but it didn't. He, like I said, he really didn't bring anything to the table as far as advancing the plot or the story. So, like I said, we start off back in the 1600s in feudal Japan. We got Hanzo, aka Scorpion. He's with his family, or whatever like that. And y'all know the story goes. His family gets murdered by Sub-Zero, who's really supposed to be Quan Chi, but they never go over that They never go over that in the film. Like they just gloss over that whole aspect of Scorpion's lore. But I digress. Whatever. So Scorpion's family gets murdered pretty much, and he has a child left behind. And then Raiden comes, you know, why didn't he come when Scorpion was about to die, but whatever. But he comes right when Scorpion dies and saves the little daughter he has. That's hundreds of years ago. And then fast forward to present day time, we get Cole Young, who is immediately when you see him, he got the yellow gauze on his hands with the hoodie on, so it's like, okay, you can tell he got some ties to Scorpion. And he's this washed up MMA fighter. Okay, cool. You know, whatever. Um, my issues with Cole was that not only was he just a washed up MMA fighter, but like his first real fight in this Mortal Kombat universe that he just was placed in, he fights Goro. And yeah, I don't even know how to start with this shit, bro. Because it's like I'm gonna be jumping back and forth, because it's a lot to take in how bad this movie was. But I want to just focus on Cole, and then I'll get to everything else. But let's jump a little forward. Um, like I said, Cole is a descendant of Scorpion. Alright, cool, whatever. He has this scorpion, I mean not scorpion, he has this dragon Mortal Kombat tattoo, the logo, on his body that he was born with, because apparently in this new Mortal Kombat universe, in order for you to be a Mortal Kombat fighter, or contender, or a champion, I should say, you have to have this marking on you. And he was born with this marking. Okay, whatever, you know, we'll rock with that for the time being. But yeah, damn, that's a lot I'm gonna have to get through to get to the part where I hate. Um, Whatever. We gonna jump. Just rock with me, y'all. We get to when, like I said, he's introduced to the world. Everybody, Raiden, Liu Kang, Sonya, Jax, blah 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 blah. And his first fight with another Mortal Kombat character is fucking Goro. And if you know anything about Goro, you know, dude is a beast, right? Um, Pretty much went undefeated. What 500,000 years, however so it was in the original game or whatever. But he's no joke. And mind you, Cole can barely beat regular human opponents in his craft, his MMA fighting skills, and he's able to beat Goro because of literal plot armor. Yes. See, in this Mortal Kombat movie, the way that the characters, get their so-called powers is they have to have this marking. And whenever you're in some type of distress or anger, or something has to trigger it. So, like I said, he sees Goro about to attack his family, and then boom, all of a sudden, he has literal armor appear on his body, gold armor, that absorbs uh, blows if he gets hit. Like, it's kind of reminded me of Black Panther's armor from the Black Panther film. Like, he gets hit, he absorbs energy, and he's able to distribute it back to whoever he's fighting, or whatever. Alright, like, and that part was just trash. Like, the reason why I didn't like that part was because, he's this MMA fighter. Like his power that he got had nothing really to do with him. It didn't really represent anything because, like I said, he got this armor on, and then he got these I think what they call it, tonfas or whatever. These weapons that give no background to his character. Like if he's like an MMA fighter or something like that, he's mainly doing grapples, punches, like basic shit like that. Like why does he have these weapons all of a sudden? But whatever. Um, and my biggest issue with Cole was that like they didn't utilize him the way I thought they would utilize him. See, like what I would have liked to have seen, it would have made more sense to me is okay if this is Scorpion Descendant, and if there was a part in the movie where Raiden gives Cole Scorpion's kunai blade, and I'm looking at him like, okay, that's how he gonna get his powers. His real powers, like he's probably gonna turn into Scorpion, like or have Scorpion possess him on some like Ghost Rider type shit. You know what I mean? If you're familiar with the Marvel comic Ghost Rider, that would have made more sense to me. Like, okay, cool, this is Descendant. When he pulls the blade out, he becomes Scorpion, and that would have been cool because it's like Hanzo is dead. You know what I'm saying? So in order for us to have Scorpion, instead of just you know convoluting and making the story even harder to grasp for some of these people. Instead of having this undead ninja that comes from hell, we'll just have his descendant come through and then he'll just be able to possess his body and then take over when it's time to fight. Like that would have made more sense to me than just having this new character out of the blue that nobody's ever heard of or thought of. And like I said, I didn't really see the point of him being in the movie because it really didn't do anything. It didn't make uh, Scorpion a better character, didn't make Cole a better character. Like nothing about Cole was satisfying, to say the least. Um, so that was like one of my biggest issues with his character. Um, who else did I have an issue with? All right, let's go to Liu Kang. Liu Kang. When you first see Liu Kang for the first time, he just doesn't look intimidating or strong or just like a badass at all. Like he looks like one of them Korean pop star dudes. You know what I mean? Like your first appearance, say Liu Kang, he just throws a fucking fireball at Kano for no reason. Like I thought that was silly as hell. Like okay, like you said you're not a threat, but your first time meeting somebody, you just throw a fireball at them. Like is that what they do? But whatever. Um, then I saw when he took his shirt off, I was like, okay, dude, work out, whatever, like that. He got the Bruce Lee build, so I was like, all right, it's a little bit better than what I thought it was gonna be, but he still looked like kind of frail though. Um, who else did I have an issue with? Had an issue with Raiden. Didn't really like his character design. He didn't look intimidated at all. Um, he was another useless character. I felt like compared to like Raiden in the first Mortal Kombat movie in 1995, like he didn't really bring anything to the table in this film. So he was disappointing. Let's see, Sonya Blade. Mm, my issue with Sonya Blade in this movie is I felt like they disrespected her. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole tattoo mark that you're supposed to be chosen or whatever to get. Like in this film, if you kill somebody, you get the mark. So it's like it's not even special anymore at this point. And I feel like she should have had one from the beginning because like she's an original Mortal Kombat character. You know what I'm saying? Like she should have had one from the jump. And she knew so much about what was going on with the lore and the tournament and all this other bullshit going on. And just for her to just like not have a mark and from the get go just was kind of dumb to me. But like I said, the actress that played her, I didn't really have a problem with the way she looked. I thought she looked decent. Like she looked close enough to Sonya Blade for me. Her fight scenes were alright, but they weren't really anything impressive. Um, but yeah, I just felt like they just disrespected her character. Um, let's move on to Jax. Now Jax, man, whew, bruh. I really wish they could have found a better actor to play Jax. Like I really was hoping they could have got like Michael J. White, fucking even Terry Crews. Anybody would have been better than the dude that played in that Tyler Perry movie. I think it was like Misery or some shit. The ashtray bitch dude. Like he's just not a good actor. I'm sorry. Like I mean, like he was big, he was buff, whatever. He, body wise, I feel like he fit Jax, but the facial is like, I'm looking at this nigga's like, all I see is Steve Harvey. Like, I'm just waiting for him to, introduce the next family on Family Feud. Like, that's how he looked the whole entire movie with this bald headed mustache. Like, it's just a buff ass version of Steve Harvey, man. And his lines, like the delivery was just super corny, yo. Like every time he tried to say something cool, it just was whack. Like the whole, even when he did his fatality and he's looking at his arms like, yeah, these shits work. And I just was like cringe, super cringe. What I didn't understand about Jax was like he knew about the mark and he knew about the tournament and he had more background information and he was recruiting people. Like, why didn't he know how to use his powers? Like when he was fighting Sub Zero, I would have thought that would have been a perfect time for him to, get his so-called, cyborg type powers, even though that's some bullshit. But that's what he reminded me of in the movie. Like, he lost his arms to Scorpion, and you see that in the trailer. And why didn't his arms turn into metal at that point? You know what I mean? He gets his new arms, but they're like these little baby metal arms that ain't shit. And then eventually he unlocks his power, and then he gets, more metal on his arms somehow. Like that shit made no sense to me whatsoever. Like it would have just been better if they just gave him the cybernetic arms from the jump instead of having to give him these little weak arms. And then his powers, he can make his metal arms into even bigger metal arms. Like that was terrible. But yeah, I didn't like how homie looked like Steve Harvey. I didn't like the delivery of the lines he gave. His action scenes are kind of corny as well. Like I said, he did the fatality that he does in the game, which was cool. But again, that these shits work. That line was just trash. Um, Kung Lao. Let me see, Kung Lao. Kung Lao I thought was cool. Um, he by far had one of the best scenes in the movie with his fatality with the hat. He was riding a Natari, however you say that, the winged vampire chick, split that bitch dead in half. That was cool, but that was like I said, that was like the highlight of fatalities in the whole movie. Um, and they killed them off. Like, how y'all kill off one of the best characters in the first film? You know? I was disappointed when they did that. And then the motherfucker just stood there and let Shang Tsung steal his soul. Like Cole was literally right next to him, and all he did was just watch. Like, you got this super armor on, and you got Liu Kang got the fire. Like y'all just gonna let your man get his soul sucked like that, not do nothing. Yeah, that part was corny, but I thought Kung Lao was one of the highlights of the movie, and I'm kind of upset that they killed him off, but whatever. He'll probably come back in the next film as a Revenant if we even get a second film. Alright, who's left? Kano. I had like a love-hate relationship with Kano because on one hand I thought he was by far the best character in the film. Had the funniest lines, had the most personality. He pretty much stole whatever scene he was in, which is cool. Um, But my issue with Kane was not even really my issue with Kane. It was just the simple fact that it was like, bruh, like everything that Kane was doing is as far as being the comedic role in the film, that should have been reserved for Johnny Cage. Like, how do you not have Johnny Cage in this movie? Like, I understand, yeah, they set up for the sequel at the end. You see his little poster. He's gonna be in the second one, but it's like, come on, bro. Like, Johnny Cage should have been here from the get go. From the get go, bro. But like I said, I digress. Kano did a good job for me. But I felt like that role should have been saved for Johnny Cage. And they could have had Kano still be Kano, but just be on the villain side doing all that shit. Like that would have made more sense to me because it seemed like you guys, the people who made the movie, were like switching Kano to be kind of like not necessarily a good guy, but like an anti-hero or somebody you could, be behind or whatever like that before he did his little traitor shit, which you knew he was gonna do from the get go because it's fucking Kano. You know what I mean? Um, but like I said, he was the best character in the film. Melina, whew, Melina's one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters. Like I said, she's my main. I like Melina a lot, but I was really disappointed. Like I didn't care that they changed the skin color and they made her a black woman or whatever. Like that's not a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I had no issue with that. I just was disappointed in the fact that she really didn't have no lines like that, and they killed her off mad quick. Cause it's like you had a lot of these villains or whatever under Shang Tsung, who to me aren't like the super popular villain characters from the Mortal Kombat series, at least to me. Like, 'cause I'm not the biggest Mortal Kombat fan, so most of these characters I didn't even know. Besides, Shang Tsung, of course, Melina, Kano, whatever like that. But like the dude with the hammer, the Atari with the wings. I know Cabal. I know who Cabal is or whatever. But yeah, I just felt like to have Melina in the movie, but no Katana. It's like she's a clone of Katana. So how you not gonna have Katana in the film? You know what I'm saying? It's just like that would have been a cool, to see them two get it in a fight. But yeah, I think her character was just wasted, man. Hopefully, if they do have a sequel, they can bring her back, cause she is a clone. But as far as this first film in this 2021 film, I think Melina was just a wasted character. Let's see, what else? What else about the movie I didn't like? No, I'm missing something. As far as the other characters like Shang Tsung, Cabal, I thought Cabal was kind of funny or whatever like that. He was cool. The hammer nigga really didn't have no personality, just a big nigga with a hammer. Chick with the wings. I don't even think she had any lines. She just was flying around screaming and shit. But like I said, the fatality on her, that was the best part. The fight scenes in the movie, man, they wasn't really impressive to me, man. Like I said, if you see movies like the Raid 2, Captain America, Winter Soldier, like the bar is set high. And for a movie like Mortal Kombat, like I'm expecting that type of action as far as the hand-to-hand combat scenes. Like, the CGI, whatever, had a $50 million budget. Okay, cool. But the fight scenes is where shit should have. That's where it should have shined at. Like that should have been the number one priority in the film. You know what I'm saying? Like besides the gore, which was there, but again, the gore in the film wasn't really nothing cringeworthy. Like nothing in the film made me turn away or maybe go like, ooh, like that hurt. Like like there's some fatalities in some of the games where you be like, damn, that was crazy. Like yo, these motherfuckers is creative. Like it was really none of that in this film. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of disappointing because like the directors and shit was bragging like, oh yeah, we did it, we went as far as we could without making this shit NC-17. But I really didn't see that in this film. Like I feel I've definitely seen other rated R movies that had way worse gore scenes than Mortal Kombat did. Um, but yeah, the fight scenes weren't really that good. The CGI was okay. Like I said, the first CGI we seen, we see a reptile and they literally made him a reptile. Like, and I was like, ah, man, I thought that was kind of whack. I mean, he was a reptile in the '95 movie, but he went into the little statue and he became like a ninja and shit. That's the reptile that I like. This little dinosaur looking motherfucker. I wasn't really feeling that. But like I said, Kano punching through him, ripping his heart out, and I was like, okay, cool. That's Kano's fatality. But again, you see that in the Red Band trailer, so it really was nothing to look forward to when you saw that part of the movie because you knew what the fuck was going to happen. And as I said, that's a lot of trailers been doing that shit lately, showing every good scene in the movie. So, alright, so let's. Oh, Sub Zero. I forgot about Sub Zero. I thought Sub Zero was cool. Um, I wasn't really a fan of how they kind of made him like a whole villain, but it is what it is. Like I said, he was decent. Like I said, he was putting in work. You know what I'm saying? He had some good scenes. The fight scene with him and Scorpion was I thought was a good scene, but again, it was a scene that was already shown in the trailer. So him freezing the blood, him throwing him into the ice wall of spikes, all that, like we seen that shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, this movie overall could have just been better. Like the plot, the plot was just stupid. Like there was no tournament. Pretty much the whole movie you got Shang Tsung trying to get his people to jump and raid his people whenever he can to take him out so they can't actually complete the fucking prophecy with the whole Hanzo bloodline and shit like that, trying to turnover Elf Realm to get a W. Because like I said, if they win, if the Outer World wins 10 in a row, then they get to rule Earth and all the realms and all that bullshit. All right, cool. Like that's fine. But like, just get me from point A to point B and just make some type of sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that whole tattoo burp, like that shit was corny because it takes away from anything being special if a motherfucker could just kill you and then now they got powers like that. That was just terrible, man. I'm sorry. That was a bad idea. Like if everybody was just born with the mark and then that's just what it was, then it was like, all right, cool. You born with it, you chosen. All right, cool. This was in your destiny. It was written already. Whatever. I'm fine with that. But the whole like, it's some random ass shit basically. You know, like anybody could be a Mortal Kombat contender if they just kill the right person. So yeah, I thought that was whack. Um, yeah, Goro, he looked pretty decent with the CGI. I wasn't too upset with that. But like I said, I was upset how he lost to fucking Cole, a motherfucker who could barely beat a regular human opponent, but you're able to beat the fucking this half dragon motherfucker. Like, nah, bruh, that was corny. That was super corny to me. Like I said, I should have wrote a list of all the things I didn't like about the movie. But like I said, it just could have been better, man. Because like I said, if you look at the 1995 film, right, that movie had like a 18-20 million dollar budget, and and for that time, like I said, it was a PG-13 film. But like I said, but for the most part, they wasn't really trying to attract mad adults to that film because, like I said, Mortal Kombat, even though it was a mature game, it was a lot of kids playing that shit. Like I remember Mortal Kombat back in the day. Like we used to play that shit at my cousin's house. You know what I'm saying? Um, but they made their money though. I don't think this movie's gonna recover the budget like that. I mean, obviously due to COVID, shit like that. But if even if this was just a regular and it was no COVID, like shit was just back to normal, I still don't think this movie would have really sold like that once them fucking reviews and shit came out, you know. But yeah, man, it's just like I said, I'm just disappointed because, like I said, I thought the 1995 film was decent for its time, even though it didn't have the gore and the violence that the video game had. At least the story made sense, or it was like, all right, these are the motherfuckers, Raiden's people that he's choosing to defend Earth. We're gonna go to this tournament. Y'all gonna fight, and we, boom. That's what it is. As to where this was, it was just like all over the place with this shit. Like I don't know what the writers was thinking when they made this movie because, like I said, the Mortal Kombat series has damn near 20 games in the franchise. Like you couldn't take from that and do something better with it. Like you know what I mean? Like I could see if they took this shit straight from the 1992 video game. It was like, all right, this is all we got to work with. But nah, like you're past that. Like so many decent martial arts films that have came out since 1995 that you guys could have made this like really something special. You know what I'm saying? This, like it doesn't have to be Oscar worthy. It doesn't have to have the greatest story of all time. But like it could have been so much better, man. This shit really was disappointing because I was looking forward to this movie, man. Like I remember when I found out it was coming to HBO Max for free. I'm like, what? This shit gonna be on HBO Max? Like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like I was hyped for this shit because when I seen the initial trailer, I was like, oh okay, it's going and shit. This is what we've been wanting. You know what I'm saying? Because the 1995 film, that was the only thing really missing. Like, yeah, it was cheesy, but like I said, it was a good type of cheese. Like, there was memorable dialogue in that first Mortal Kombat film. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was quotables. There was no quotables in this fucking 2021 film. Like, not to me. You know what I'm saying? And even like the fight scenes, it wasn't like I said. The only real memorable scene to me was Kung Lao's fatality on the wing chick. Like that was the best part of the whole film. That was the only film. That was the only part of the film that made me smirk. Be like, okay, yeah, I like that. That's what's up. Let's get it. And after that, you kill the character. You kill Kung Lao after that. Like, what the fuck was the point of all that, man? But alright, but yeah, we almost 25 minutes in. Like I said, I was definitely disappointed in this film. I'm glad I didn't pay any money to see it. Um, if there are any sequels, hopefully they do something to retcon what happened in that first film. Maybe they'll bring the time traveling, like how they did in, Mortal Kombat 9 and 10 and 11, or something. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, I get a movie 5.5, 5.5, 6 out of 10. And I watched it twice. Like I watched the first time, I was like, you know, and I was like, let me watch it again just to make sure I'm not being too critical to film. Like maybe I'm thinking too much into it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Mortal Kombat. You want to watch for the action scenes, but like I said, the action scenes weren't that great. Like I said, you take a movie like The Raid, which has a very, very super basic plot, but the reason the movie's so good and so memorable because the fight scenes carry the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I wanted Mortal Kombat to be like. If these fight scenes were super dope, and I'm like, oh man, them shits was so dope. I don't even give a fuck about the storyline. Like that's not the case. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's your boy UndeniedReal. This is my review on Mortal Kombat 2021. Like I said, you can let me know what you think down in the comment section if you liked the movie, if you enjoyed it. That's on you. I'm happy. Like I'm happy if you like this movie. I'm happy for you because you are very easily impressed, and I'm jealous. But yeah, yo, I'm out. Peace.